This week in
There's no news. Like bad news. There's no news.
Could be something.
Like bad news.
talk to developers.
Are you playing with my emotions?
Let's get sad and then
That's not what they did here. When's the money going?
what other horror stories could come of this?
We love Tencent.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Week in Action Podcast 39. My name is Aaron, owner and operator of the YouTube channel Action RPG, and with me, as always, two of my friends, moderators, the leaders, the gentlemen that truly run this channel, Daft and Guilty. Say hello, gentlemen.
Evening, all. How you guys doing?
Hey yo!
Now, before anybody asks, hey, what is going on? Why is Guilty in the dark? He's got a little bit of a headache. He's going through some ailments. Someone put a dot on him and he's trying to get all those off. So the light is causing him too much stress. So anyways, that is why. But don't worry, to your left or however you're looking at it, you got Daft all nice and bright. And I threw on my core punk sweater today because I thought it was cool.
How do I recognize that sweater?
Yeah. Oh, wait. Yeah. So I threw on Core Punk. Hopefully that's one of the ones where out of nowhere that game actually makes a splash. So thank you all for joining us today. As always, we will stream this podcast for 90 minutes, have good conversations just about PC gaming in general and any games in general. And number one topic we are going to be talking about first is everyone's favorite, my favorite, actually, really, it's Guilty's favorite, and that is Blizzard Entertainment, or I guess Activision or Microsoft or whatever company you'd like to pick. D4. D4 has been owning the news cycle. New leaked communication from insider sources say D4 official 1.0 launch April. Daft, do you think it's true?
I think there's something to it. I mean, it's leaked, as you say, leaked. So whatever that means these days. I don't know. It's possible. It would put a damper on other game companies for sure. So it would be a good tactic if they could pull it off.
Oh, like you're thinking 50-50 it launches in April? Are you leaning towards it being correct?
I might go towards like 60%. It sounds like it if they're going to actually do it, but it could be a complete bluff.
Man, April
At the same
seems
time.
so soon.
Around the
Guilty.
corner. It's
Thoughts?
April Fools, though.
I think they, like, regardless of what they may say, they probably still do a fair amount of crunch and call it something else. So I think what they're going to try to do is get it out by then. I'd say Christmas time comes, they get the Christmas season out of the way, and then everyone's on crunch for 4 months.
Right.
And April is probably the goal that got leaked out.
I
So I can
wonder
see them
how many
putting 4 months of
people.
crunch.
I wonder how many people are working on this.
All of the people and some of the people from other companies. Like,
Yeah.
So I didn't do the research before this podcast, and I apologize. But what I was reading is, as far as their fiscal year actually ends right around April, so it makes sense that they would want to launch it in April to get that initial sales, so that they
Right.
close their book stronger, for 2022 for them. But it actually does make logical sense. That being
So-
said, is the game ready?
well, probably not right now, but you remember when Bungie was still Activision Blizzard?
Yes.
Like, and Destiny 2. Okay, so what Destiny 2 did, and I don't know if this was to maintain, release times that were in a timely manner, or like just because Activision Blizzard said so, but a lot of their animation, I can't say all because I don't know, I didn't work there, but I do know someone who did animation for them, or at least worked for the company doing animation for them, and it was a third-party company. It was not Bungie doing some of the animations for Destiny 2.
So you're saying that it's potential that Blizzard could be contracting other studios or other people to fill in little gaps where needed.
Yeah. The guy that I know, his name is Shedlock, and the company he worked for, he was not an animator. He was a person that worked for the company. They did an amount that was big enough for them to be, they're in the credits.
Well, they got the backing to do this kind of stuff, so I wouldn't put it past them to, get a, if you will, hire some help for the holidays to get through and finish it out.
I would love to know how many people and how much money they have spent creating D4. I mean, it's got to be up there, like really, really high as far as budget. Powerful Shammy says they're going to go April before God of War releases on PC so they can get sales in, because when God of War releases on PC, few will get D4. I disagree.
God of War is pretty popular. We were just talking about that.
Popular, yeah, we were.
For sure, God of War is popular.
I would say a lot more people are going to play it because of its ease of access than, say, Diablo 4.
But it's a different game.
It's also a lot easier to, for younger people to get into.
Okay.
It's very popular in general right now. I don't know.
Well,
it could affect it, but it's a slightly different group for me, but there is crossover. So you lose a lot of the crossover player types, maybe.
Daft, are you going to play D4?
I'm sure I will. It's just the way things go. I played D3 for like a month, so I might play it a little longer.
I'll rephrase my question. Will you buy an early access pre-ordered pack of Diablo 4 to play the game early and be there at the ground level?
Only if there's a lot of peer pressure. Otherwise, it's just gonna sit until it's released. Let's just be honest with that
Peer
one.
pressure.
I'm afraid to ask Guilty that same question.
I honestly haven't decided if I'm going to do, like I said in the past, with World of Warcraft. I haven't even decided if I'm going to get that yet. They haven't done anything to win back my money.
Sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, there's not like a good faith effort or a, hey, we screwed up, or a take accountability for our... I mean, there's been zero. Anything, it's been
Blizzard.
farther the other direction. We had a question come in. Have they said if D4 is going to have a box price? Is it... If it does, they are going to want to get it out before PoE 2. It will have a box price. It'll have a AAA price of potentially higher than $60, and then it'll have multiple tiers of platinum,
Digital,
gold, ancestral, 3 days early access, 6 days early access. So it will be a very, very expensive pre-order
set with all the collectibles. I mean, they're going to go hog wild.
Hoser said, if a pre-order went for D4 today for 1,000, I would buy it. What's up, Bang?
Really? Well,
Good God.
But it'll probably give you custom art that was printed out, you know?
right. I don't know. Blizzard's got a lot that with Destiny. They're not doing so well either.
Well, no, Destiny messed up.
It's a different game and a different thing, but it's still
Bungie
Blizzard.
messed up.
Yeah, it's still
but
Blizzard.
No, it's not. Bungie's its own thing now.
It is. That's right.
And good on them for leaving before the bad times.
It didn't help them, but
it's almost like they saw the writing on the wall.
So everybody always talks about the two kings, right? PoE and Diablo. And D4 kind of, you hear D4 and then it's like, oh, GGG drops something on PoE 2, and they're always fighting back and forth because we know that these are going to be two behemoths of games in that genre.
Mm-hmm.
We know for sure at the next ExileCon, we are going to get a date for beta. Okay. So Q3 next year, we will get a beta date for PoE 2.
Which will probably be the first quarter or second quarter of the following year.
Yeah, or maybe Q4 or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe they pull a rabbit of a hat and it's like, we are announcing beta. It's today. I don't see that happening. But
guys, ExileCon's in New Zealand, correct?
Yeah,
That's the one
July, something like that.
Yeah, Cecilia and I were going
August.
to go to ExileCon. I got her talked into it when I said New Zealand, and they sold out in like 4 hours or 20 minutes or whatever it was, and we ended up going to Key West.
You getting a ticket to ExileCon is the same as you trying to get a 4090. It's like, Tickets are on sale. Refresh. Gone.
Dead.
That
I just
fast.
wanted to go to ExileCon. I wasn't so much like I'm not saying I don't want to go to New Zealand, but the selling for her was New Zealand.
I got it.
You can go to the Hobbit
Yeah.
things, you know, the little house.
But yeah,
filming
I mean that
spots,
could be
and
cool.
go check it out. They have like a whole village or something that you can go like kind of like
Explore.
park or something like that.
The point I want to make on PoE and D4, what does this do to the expectations of PoE 2? The idea was they were always going to drop around the same time. And you're talking probably PoE 2 now. They're just getting their first beta that is playable out. Maybe not even in 2023. And we have full on D4 Q1 2023. I mean, just, I feel like the dichotomy, like everything changes if D4 is really coming that early. The expectation of PoE 2. Wolson's going to be getting seasons. Last Epoch is trying to get multiplayer out in 1.0. There's, you know, Torchlight's going to be releasing. They'll probably be like, what, season 3 at that point. Who knows what's going to be happening with Undecember. Like, I feel like an April release of D4 just like throws a grenade into everything else, right? Everything.
Because that might be their goal.
You know, and maybe I'll be totally wrong. I feel like the world is going to stop. It's like, I hate Blizzard, but I am required to play this game. That's how I feel.
Like,
I mean, required is probably a harsh word.
is it going to be as big as Diablo 2 was for the industry?
No.
Probably not. I mean, that if it was, like, I would be beyond surprised.
That was a game changer back in the day.
Right.
So
Will
they're not
this be a game changer?
right now.
Yeah.
At least I don't know. They might. I mean, they could. But it seems like
I'm
they're
not saying it
copying,
won't, but-
pasting some stuff from other successful games like Lost Ark. They're kind of trying to figure out the monetization and figure out how do we want to pace this game out and stuff like that.
Yeah, it seems like corporate is making design decisions. This is what's selling, therefore this must be in.
But we can all agree realistically that the game is going to be huge, right? I mean, come on.
Well, if I throw $1 million or whatever they're going to throw, which is probably more than $1 million at advertising, yeah, it's going to be huge. People buy what they see.
They buy what they hear about most recently too.
Yeah,
That
like
kind of world.
But you got to think about like, oh, I can't believe I'm bringing this up twice. By the way, Shin, thank you for the sub, sir. I appreciate it. 8
Shin.
months. Thank you. People will go after the shiny thing. And it's not like a Last Epoch where 99% of the community has already got to play it. A big part of the community has already got to see multiplayer. Like, not many people have got to play D4. Everybody knows the name Diablo, right? It's not only going to be the new shiny thing, but it's going to be the AAA new shiny thing that also has the largest name recognition and created the genre of hack and slash. So that is why, even with all the negative publicity, even with all the garbage, even with Diablo Immortal, even with all this other crap, I feel like it still potentially could break records, because maybe it won't sell as many copies, but you're going to be adding in MTX and you're going to be adding in a much higher retail price. So at least from a dollars perspective, it probably will likely be the most profitable, or at least the highest driving dollar amount in the series.
The first month, you think?
Maybe the first week.
Or week? I was going to say I would lean towards
It's
week
going
or
to be
two.
quick.
I
it'll be like
could
a
see it.
tsunami.
I could see it being quick. Like,
And then it lulls out, right? And then depending on how the game is received and how they react to, that, it might be better after that, or, that's, I guess, the part that all the other devs are concerned about more so, because they already know that the first wave is going to be that tsunami.
Rich has a comment,
like
says
Immortal.
Diablo 4 could be a flop and it's still going to sell a metric ton of copies, which there's no amount of me that could agree more. It could flop and it would still sell, or it could be really, really good and still sell the same amount because advertising and Blizzard.
Look at Wolson. Wolson sold 127,000
They made it here.
Concurrent players. Nobody had played it.
Didn't Wolson do something recently? Speaking of Wolson, did it have an impact? Did that happen, or was it coming soon? I forget.
No, they just announced that they're going to be releasing seasons. And I am going. I just have this gut feeling that I've been giving Wolson more praise lately because they do not have a single MTX microtransaction available in their game. Everything is free.
Right.
With the retail purchase. It's been that way for now over 2.5 years. And I feel like they're just gonna, oh, we're now doing seasons to give you new content. And with these seasons is our battle pass. I just feel like that's gonna happen.
Yes, Tornux. Yes.
Something's gonna happen. I don't know what, but yeah, I don't know. That game. We still somehow talk about it. Somehow.
Hey, Wolson always gets a monthly video from me with their monthly communication. So that, just, I got to try and keep it in the news cycle. Maybe it's going to be the next big thing. They were on
the last. They were on time.
This month, October.
This month.
October, they were on month. October, they dropped it like October 22nd, which is the earliest they've ever done it in a month.
Still technically in October, so good on them.
Okay.
Well, that was the Wolson news flash. Back to anything else.
Okay, so now let's I want to have this conversation, okay? So first off, we've got lots of Diablo stuff to talk about because they just released a lot of news and I kind of got the information on it, but I kind of want to bridge this gap. Guilty. Speak your mind, be honest. If
what's up?
D4 does. So let's just say we've got an official release date. It's April 30th. Okay. Diablo 4 is releasing April 30th. What does that do specifically? And these are the questions I hate asking to Last Epoch.
If Last Epoch is not released and Diablo 4 releases, there is no Last Epoch. Or at least it's not going to get it's not going to be where it should be. The game has earned more than what it will get if Diablo 4 comes and takes every streamer and every YouTuber and Blender or whatever the grinder or whatever those other software platforms are. Everyone will be on D4 because it has a name. So release it, Judd. Release the Kraken.
Daft.
Yeah.
Knowing.
Same question.
No, actually, a variation of the same question.
Okay.
They release in the same quarter, whether D4's a month ahead or Last Epoch's a month ahead. Can it carve out itself a little portion on the bottom of the mountain? Is it good enough for that?
I think it's good enough to, I don't know about carve out. I think that they will have their diehards that are super into it. They'll have that group. And then I feel like they'll get the disenfranchised afterwards. Anybody from other games that their number one game isn't doing well or is going through what have you. I think it's still relevant, but it's going to put a dip into the excitement level and therefore kind of push it back a little bit because it's going to have to try harder to get back in the focus of, of the main crowd, which they want to have, the ARPG group. So
there was a single
good for them.
There was a single patch that Last Epoch dropped. It might have been 8.1, 8.2 that coincided around the time that PoE released the leak. And I remember that the servers were jacked up and everybody was pissed off. PoE people are always pissed off. And they were so mad at PoE, they're like, oh, let me go try this other thing. Is there a chance, obviously, everyone's going to say wishful thinking on Aaron's part. Is there a chance they drop around the same time and Diablo does have problems, which drives people to Last Epoch? Or is that you're out of your mind?
Okay.
Sure. I mean,
there's an analogy. But... Sorry, but
go ahead.
Everyone here knows the JRPGs. What he's talking about actually happened in JRPGs back in the early 2000s, when Persona 3 launched alongside one of the Final Fantasy offerings, and no, that game became they had to re-release the FES edition because it didn't really sell what it should have, even with the awesome packaging that Atlas released at the time. Like, they give you art books and all kinds of stuff. I picked it up because of the packaging. I didn't even know what it was, but it did not sell as well as whatever Final Fantasy was out, or Star Ocean, or whatever it was that they were competing against. Even though it had a better game, better packaging, like leaps and beyonds better packaging. Like, you got a hardcover art book in the first Persona 3 release for PS2, and it came in a slipcover case, and it was the same price. They didn't charge you extra, and it still didn't sell as much as a game right next to it on the shelf.
So Last Epoch's only shot, and I'm not saying only shot, like, they're always gonna have players regardless of when they release. Like, it's not like they stop the game. Last Epoch's main chance of carving out a spot with a dedicated community on the ARPG mountain is to create that community before D4 releases. Correct?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Realistically,
probably the best for them. I don't know if they have to, because I don't know how much it's going to change. They'll just have players who will have to be pulled towards games that they're probably waiting for themselves. So personally, I think that they're kind of at that point where they're a game that everybody's going to be into, but they have another game on the horizon. So it's probably going to have to deal with that push or pull either before or after, Diablo. After, I think you'll just have your more true players starting from the get-go, where you'll have more if you have you release before Diablo does.
well, if they release tomorrow, they have 5.5 months of knowing what it's like to sell,
Exactly.
assuming
Cycle.
Diablo launches in April.
Yeah.
So, like, they'd have 5.5 months of actual sales that we can actually take a 5.5 month segment from there, and we can compare and see which one did. But after D4 releases, it's going to go down.
It is interesting to me that months and months ago, I was saying, man, Last Epoch is positioned perfectly. D4, best case, mid 2023, likely end of 2023. PoE 2, they're not close yet, right? There's no other competition. Like, they've got a good core game, end of 2022, fourth quarter, holiday time. Like, this is going to be a slam dunk. I still want to believe that Last Epoch will, slam dunk.
Oh.
Now you've got Torchlight, which is, I'm telling you, it's the surprise of the year, in my opinion. Okay. You've got Undecember, which a lot of people are enjoying. You've got Martyr. You got Martyr releasing seasons that people are playing. You've got Grim Dawn community seasons that people are playing. You've got frickin' Wolcen about to bring out seasons that people are playing.
And
D2R. You've got another PoE league that's going to be on the horizon soon.
Right.
When it actually comes, D2R seasons. When it actually comes to the ARPG genre, I mean, we're a couple months away of just having like a plethora of options. And that doesn't even include like, the Sloremancers of the world and all these rogues that people are now playing based upon like, the Vampire Survivors model. So anyways, it does seem worse off, competition drives, pushing games farther and ingenuity and competition is good.
Works when they're on the same playing field.
Yeah.
That's only works when they're on the same playing field.
Sure. Yeah. Makes sense.
So unless like Tencent's going to chuck $1 million at them for advertising, they won't be on the same playing field. And even then, I'm sure it's more than $1 million that Blizzard's chucking at D4.
Hey, you know what? Every fourth video I click on YouTube, I get a 2 minute and 30 second Torchlight ad. I don't know if you guys have seen this. I get Torchlight ads everywhere. I mean, obviously I'm on their Discord, but I see their little banners when I have to, like, I'm forced to like disable ad blocker or stuff like that. Like,
Right.
they're freaking everywhere. And I'm sure Diablo D4 is supposed to, again, rumor, not substantiated, that their
Right.
market push starts December 8th, which is the day of the Game Awards, which we're going to be doing a watch party here. And on December 8th, we will get the release date. We'll find out all the pricing for everything. That'll be the day that pre-orders go on sale. And then we will know. And if nothing happens on December 8th, then it was all BS, right? Because that is like where the rumors kind of started. Which is is a month away.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Which is a month away.
Right. Hoser in chat asking, do you think Blizzard's doing a false release date to push other devs to move
That's
along faster
possible.
than they might?
They don't.
He's not wrong.
No.
It
It's a
could.
good tactic. I mean, it's business.
It's like, espionage up in the upper echelons of AAA.
Right.
But I mean, to push
Propaganda.
who? To push who? do you
And literally anyone else releasing a game at the time that they plan on.
The
who?
last epochs will probably be
Anyone else. It doesn't even have to be in the same genre.
Blizzard.
Half-Exile's probably not involved.
Blizzard's
They're
too
past it.
puffy chested to care about anyone else. They think they are the know all be all. I doubt that is a tactic.
I think they've got that way by doing tactic things such as what he just mentioned. It's
Right.
not unheard of for companies to literally use propaganda tactics to
Feign
force each other to do things.
tactics, yeah.
Yeah.
You do it in games, you just oh no, I'm not
To
attacking.
put it in
now I carry
perspective, I knew one of my friends was painting the EA Tiburon building, and they were painting the stairwells, okay? Not the actual offices, just the stairwells. It was like blue or something, and it was when they were doing Superman Returns. You remember how long ago that was? They had to go into the building with an escort to go to the bathroom. They could not enter past the stairwell without a chaperone. They take espionage very seriously.
As they should.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, like, painter go in there with a camera and snap some pictures and make a
Right.
couple $1,000. Yep.
If Blizzard did do that and it got Last Epoch the release earlier, bravo! Because that would make me happier.
Well, I'm not saying Last Epoch.
I know.
There's other games.
I know.
But, I mean, yeah.
I know.
Hoser's right. They do stuff like that. They could also be doing it to see if we want how bad to grow hype for the game and then push it back again.
Sure, community use the community push and
Because
then
they have their name and
blow
hype.
it off a little bit.
Yeah, it's not just the name, it's the hype behind it that's been built up by not just the community, but like leaks.
I've talked to a
Right.
lot of people. So in my position, people will DM me on Discord and, hey, just wanted you to know I'm playing the beta, or I got into the closed beta. And so far, the feedback I've gotten from maybe 4 people that are in there is that it feels pretty good. Not like, oh, I can't put it down, I can't stop playing it. It's been, hey, it's a next gen ARPG. But I'm telling you right now, the reason why I'm bringing this up is because Mr. Skeezy is right. And this is something that we've been talking about, specifically Guilty, for a long time, that this game will play like Lost Ark. It will not play like a PoE. It will not play like a previous Diablo game. It will not play like LE. This is going to be, from the get-go, an open world MMO where you can go, like, you could literally just level in the first areas, screw the campaign. I don't care about story. All right, sweet. I mapped over here and I got to level 10. I'm going to go do the first dungeon. You can do whatever the hell you want. Like, it's not a path game.
Do you think they're going to have you pick up like little pentagram coins instead of Makoko seeds?
Stop it. Stop it.
They could.
I mean,
And
I
then
wouldn't.
you can get the dress as the devil after you pick it all up. You get the
And then
dress
it's
as
like,
Diablo, walk around.
season 2, we're introducing boats where you get to sail to certain islands.
There you go.
It's got to be the flying ships from that the mind flayers use from D&D.
And then it's like you go to craft,
Right.
you go to craft, and you get the psh. Dude, that
I don't know.
honing fail.
Krakens.
The honing fail is burned into my brain as just the most horrible. They literally like, hey, let's make the most ridiculous system, and then let's make the players feel as bad as humanly possible by making this red black smoke cloud that also makes a horrible sound as just like a punch to the nuts every time it doesn't go through. Hey, and then no, let's take it one step farther. Okay, let's take it one step farther. Let's give them a 1% chance for it to succeed, and then we'll charge them hundreds. We'll charge them hundreds of dollars. Well, they can use gold, right? No. They have to use real money to buy it, so they keep getting punched in the nuts over and over again. That should really make the game popular.
That system forced me to not be liked in my guild because I was slow, because I didn't feed into it as much, and I couldn't push as far or put the time in to actually do it, just naturally.
They were speed bagging the beanbag, is what you're saying?
Something.
We're talking about Lost Ark for a second. Ty.
Oh yeah,
Derailed a
PDO
little
was a worse system. No, there's worse systems. We're not saying it's the worst. We're just making fun of it in general.
Yeah.
Lineage 2 is a bad system where you break your item, so your item's now worse or broken. Actually, Lineage, there's a system too where like you go down, so like it fails and then you lose a level. Oh my gosh, you're right. There's a lot of terrible
horrid.
systems. Like you go
Feels
to.
bad.
Not a fan of those, but
I will say, talking about those systems instantly makes me cherish what Last Epoch did with their crafting system. It might be my favorite system. It's
a really good system.
It's so good, and it's not overly complex, but it's complex enough where it does take some mastery to get good at it and understanding.
The late game parts when you start trying to fine tune your gear.
When you're sealing affixes and you're trying to do all that stuff.
But it's set up. I don't know if this is a design decision or it just happened that way with their system, but you can only get so much when you first start using it on an early level character. And I don't know if they designed it that way or it just happened to be that way and they kept it from the new rendition of what we have. But it's like what Miyamoto did with the original Mario. They designed the first level last and then used the game to teach you how to play by introducing new things. It does that. Whether they tried to do that or not, it teaches you how to use it as you level up.
Yeah, and they've said that the campaign is supposed to be the tutorial for the game, which I don't know if I really like. I will say, maybe not to the degree it's at. I shouldn't say I did. I did enjoy the Undecember campaign. Again, I only beat Act 5, right? I've never gone farther than that. But like the slow progression through the campaign, the being part of the cinematics, the hard boss fights, at least for the first 5 acts, I enjoyed that. And again, in my head, I was thinking, I'm never going to have to do this again. So I'm fine going slow. I'm fine learning the story because I know I will never have to do it again. I'm okay with that.
So I really liked, I think the boss designs in Undecember are superb. I think they're some of the best boss designs, like aesthetically, like it's just really gorgeous. And the mechanics are really good too. Like, what's her face? Naked Tree Lady.
Not Umbra.
Or Naked Lagan, who's cute.
I know what you're talking about.
That's the exact mechanic. But yeah, they did something new with that though, with the vines that come up out of the ground and you have to run. Instead of it coming this way, they come up from the ground. So that's a new a 3-dimensional layout. It feels like a 3-dimensional thing instead of it just coming 2D.
Now I will say, and I'm not trying to shout anybody out, Rotten Gamer for probably 12 months every quarter would hit me up and be like, dude, you see about Undecember? I'm telling you,
get in there.
This game is not what everybody says. You're gonna love it. Basically super selling me on this game. And then I played the demo. And what's my feedback from the demo? I really like it. I'm hooked. I'm enjoying playing it. And then the other day in Discord, he's like, I'm done. I'm not playing it anymore. I'm trapped on the, level Act 7, Act 8 boss. I'm so frustrated. The game is forcing me to spend money. And I will say, like, any other person's feedback, I'd be like, you don't know. But it would be like me saying, I'm done with Last Deep, like me saying, I'm not playing LE anymore. Like, that would hold more weight because of how much I love the game. Rotten Gamer said he was done. I don't know if he's actually done, but he was so
aggro.
He was so frustrated. You could just feel it, like pure disappointment.
See, when I get that, I just go play something else and forget about the game for a few days, if not a week, and then go back. And I don't keep going back and getting that frustrated feeling. I just play anything else. That's me personally, though, so I don't have that attachment.
To prevent burnout, I do something similar. I can't play games all the time because I have to make one. Otherwise, it won't ever be finished.
All right, last.
So there's that.
Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I wish. Looking at you, Judd. Anyway, I've been doing other things away from my PC so that when I do go back to devoting some time to it, I won't get burnt out on games in general. I've been doing stuff outside. Like today, I was outside all day running around. So every now and then, I'll just step away from the PC. Nothing's happening realistically in our genre right now anyway. So
I was starting to get some Torchlight burnout because the end game systems are so repetitive. Because there's only 2, right?
That's the thing.
Even though there's lots of maps, there's only 2. And I have found myself, the only way, I almost said keep my sanity, I'm not going insane. The only way I kept interest in the game is through build guides. So it's like, here's the skill. Right now it's focus shot. So I just take a skill. This is now my main skill. Normally I have 300 FEs. Can I make a build out of it? And then that's like, I'm theory crafting. So what's keeping me engaged in games is normally that. But imagine, I don't think, I'm trying to think of any game in the history of me playing where I could not finish the campaign. Not like, I mean, there's games obviously where like I never finished the campaign because I stopped playing, but like I couldn't finish the campaign because of difficulty scaling. Right?
Well, it's never fun.
Undecember has that
and Hoser was struggling. I mean, Hoser in Act 2 struggled. He ended up beating him, right? But I mean, he felt that a little bit as well.
It's fine if it's like not artificial, but like they turned them into bullet sponges. It's like yeah, you guys played The Division or Destiny and you shoot a bad guy like a million times.
No die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Feels bad.
It's not fun. It's what I've always called lazy deving. They do it in Civ too.
Mm-hmm.
The harder difficulties, the AI starts with more than you and starts with more tech, starts with more settlers, starts with more warriors. So obviously they might catch up. You have to catch up to them. Yeah,
you shouldn't get bored in a boss fight. It shouldn't feel repetitive, 10 minutes in because you gave something 100,000 XP or life or whatever you end up giving it, whatever arbitrary number you put there.
Right.
Okay. We're 46 minutes in. I want to transfer back to Diablo for a second because I want your guys' opinion. I literally posted a reaction video that I did during we don't have a countdown anymore, but during the stream is starting. And the video was on basically character customization inside of D4. And then one of the segments in the video is respecking your character. And they said it was they kind of used an interesting analogy. They said that at the beginning, first off, it costs gold to respec, okay? So in-game currency. And normally, you have nothing to use your gold with.
Right.
And at the first, 20 levels, it costs 1 gold, 2 gold. It's practically free. It might as well be free because it's like single-digit gold to respec. But they said as you start progressing through the game, your respec is going to feel like cement hardening. So, Okay, just follow me for a second.
Jeez.
So if that's what they said in the video, they said it's going to feel like cement hardening, and your decisions are going to be more and more permanent. And I know, I was like, it was literally towards the end of the video, so I like waited for it to finish, and then I hit pause, and I just like went off like talking about how much I hate it. They said because they want this character, these are their words, not mine. They want a character to be like you, right? Like you can customize your character to like the eye sockets and the, the skin color and how freaking hairy you are. Like the character customization is insane from an ARPG perspective. And you're gonna be able to play it how you want, gear it how you want, and customize it how you want. So it is gonna be you. And at the beginning, you're gonna be able to learn and you're gonna be able to fine tune. But once you pick that, as you start scaling up, sooner or later, that concrete's gonna harden and it's gonna cost millions and millions of gold to respec.
It should feel like concrete hardening should never, ever leave a developer's mouth.
No,
I was
shouldn't,
like,
especially when it comes
what?
to- Yeah, no.
What?
It's going to feel like paint drying, everybody.
We know you're
Watch
already
the paint dry,
grinding
you
this
have the fun.
game. Guess what? We're gonna make it worse.
Man, that is something serious to say, because they said they want your decisions late game to, did they say have consequences? I don't know.
It's not a game though where you're playing like to be like a role, like a good character or a bad character where you pick, go do this or do that. It's not that kind of game. They're just talking about character development.
There's a couple of those in Grim Dawn where in the narrative, and not the main narrative, even the side narrative. I think it's exclusively the side narrative, except for one place where they were like, your selection that you make actually affects gameplay to an extent with what you can do. One of them is the blacksmith. If you select the younger of the two, he does magical enchantment to the armor, and if you select the older guy, you get better physical characteristics. I mean, stuff like that is meaningful. When you select if you want to be Kaiman's chosen, or
Right.
that's significant because you get different gear, and then you have to make another character and choose the other one to get the gear from them because there's drops from their ultimate. That should be a thing in all the games because that's
fine. Yeah, I agree.
fun.
so. Oh man, it's so bad.
Hardening.
And I get why, because they don't want it to be like on December, where you just have one character and never resets and you're good.
Which is nice.
So what they said is that inside of Diablo 3, anytime you wanted to make a new character, you just have to change your clothes. That's the analogy they said. So, I no longer want to be a fire barbarian. I want to be a leaping one. So I go and change sets in my wardrobe, and now I'm a different character. Couple clicks here for my skills, put on my new gear. I'm a new character. They said they do not want that. They said that once you figure out you want to be this character, you are going to progress in that play style. Which for me, I mean, think of like Last Epoch, right? Like, okay, I made my lightning source. Now I want to make a build guide for fire. Click, 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 click. Okay, I respec, I'm testing stuff, and now I'm into fire. They're literally saying in endgame, they're going to make it so expensive to respec, you're not going to be able to just change your clothes.
So basically, you just have to have a character for each. So it's more up my alley because I never play the same character. Like I always rebuild characters from the start. So it wouldn't affect me personally. But most people like you, Aaron, who do build guides that I've noticed, they just rehash the same character over and over and switch out the gear and switch out, their skill sets. Like for Last Epoch. So
this was,
you can't do that for the masteries.
All right,
but
guilty. This was my point at the video that I just posted. What works at level 1 might work at 20, and it might not work at 50, but maybe it works at 70. How do you know that build will scale for endgame? How do you know that endgame gear is going to be good pushing bosses past level 100 tiers? So you hit level 100, you beat the world boss, you're now going into the next tier, and you realize the build that you created isn't power enough for that. So now you have to respec to min-max it, to tweak it, to get it better. Can't do it.
Well,
Too expensive.
The way they would do it would be to have some economists do a spreadsheet for 10 years and probably like use a Ouija board, and then they'd still have to like roll some dice and hope they got it right. It's very difficult to predict what players will do with your rules. That's literally how MDA works. They can only make the rules. How we use them becomes what the game is.
What the players do, yeah.
Like they could. That's a lofty goal. Good luck, guys.
And maybe it is. Maybe it is, you got trillions of gold. Who cares? But from what I did a little bit of research, somebody went to respec Endgame, it was like 386 million gold or something like. I mean, it's not going to be like, oh, it's 800,000. Okay, 800,000. I've got 6 million. What? Like, okay, 1/6 of my bankroll. I could deal with that. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be huge. So that was like hot. That's like hot off the press.
That's not exciting
for D4. No, it's certainly not exciting.
It sounds like they're making a promise that they may not be able to deliver.
No, right?
That's nothing heard of from them.
They're claiming that they are predicting how people will play their game. Now, the only way they can really do that is if they are so restrictive in their gameplay that there's only one way to do it. Or a handful of ways that are predictable.
So, a couple of other things. They've completely redone the skill tree. So anybody that thinks that it still looks like a tree and you've got like roots that you click on and branches, like all of that stuff is gone. And if you actually look at the pictures of the skill tree now, it looks like a zoomed in PoE tree with like different things connecting and nodes. So there's that, and then they're saying they really want to go into different play styles. So Daft and Guilty are both playing Source, and they're both playing Fire. They could still be completely different in what they do, how they do it, what they look like, and what skills they use.
I agree with that.
And that was the question I had. So is it like Daft is a Fire Hydra build and Guilty is a Meteor, or is it 2 variations? Is it 40 variations? Is it dot? Is it crit? Like, that's the kind of stuff I want to know.
How do they do that and still maintain their previous, claim?
What claim?
Where
you're not supposed to cross-reference. Stop.
Like the previous claim was that it dries like concrete, and what you pick from the beginning is what you're going to get the whole time, essentially, and it grows on you. How are they going to be able to do that? Yet we're all going to be able to play different things. Like,
maybe they meet up to
really like to see how that works.
So it's gonna be
after level 70 you can't, but up to 70 you got a lot of room.
You are gonna be able. So obviously you guys can go different routes in the skill tree. You can go different routes on your Paragon board. You can go different routes with your gear, and you'll be able to go different routes with your spell book. So that's gonna be like, there is gonna be and who knows, maybe your damn horse is gonna have a skill tree. I don't know.
Oh no.
That's actually been a thing.
Why not? I don't know.
Torchlight Infinite has a pet with an ability. Why can't the horse have an ability?
I mean, yeah, are they gonna have pets? No, they're not.
You don't need to have a pet to have a horse.
They better not have. No, I don't. They're not gonna have pets, but they're gonna have like, it's Diablo. It's gonna be like giant flaming wings, or stupid back crap you put on and that kind of stuff.
Dressed as dinosaurs.
I mean, some of them look pretty good.
Well, I'd be able to dress as a hot pink dinosaur.
I didn't have a hot pink one.
I will say it is an interesting question if they are going to keep MTX like, lore based or in world, or like, can you be a pink fire butterfly? I don't
think it'll say lore-ish. That's my guess.
And you already seen the leaked pre-purchase packs that give you like the red death horse. Like, they're already doing the mount thing.
Powerful
they've
Shammy
been
says
doing
wings
it
plus
since-
20% experience and 10% more gold.
Oh God. I mean, Aaron, they've been doing this whole thing, mounts things forever. World of Warcraft. It's not new to the. They just have to decide what kind of how they're going to sell them.
You know, it is
You know what else
interesting.
they do in World of Warcraft?
They had to make it open world, or else mounts would not make sense. Because again, in ARPGs, you use waypoint, use movement skills.
Right.
What actual ARPG have you ever needed a mountain? None. But Lost Ark, you do, because you're traveling so much and it's open world, right? I mean,
It's an MMO.
exactly.
That's one of the big differences between the two, besides like skill rotation and
So that makes me wonder why. What are you going to need horses for? Are they not going to have quick teleport? Are you not going to have these stones to move around on? Are they going to
probably less.
Is it going to be the type of thing where you have to pay for it, a la Lost Ark, where you had like a fee unless you joined the the thing, and then you had the free?
Do you want to
movement.
answer this question, Guilty, or do you want me to answer his question?
It's going to be less. It's going to have as many as probably and you can answer. It might be different what I'm saying, but it's probably going to be very similar, if not exactly like something we've played together.
Daft, the reason why you need a horse in D4
Sales.
is to sell pixelated images
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
to you. Now they are
But they're
claiming integration. So not only will you be able to traverse an open world quicker in between waypoints, but you're going to be able to use the horse or the mount as an extension of your power through dismount skills.
Right.
So you'll be able to jump off the horse and slam the ground and everyone's stunned, and then you could
Right.
do crap with it.
I mean, in combat, mounts, you're saying, as part of combat, could be. That get weird though, because I don't know.
So like, let's say I'm a
Seems
necromancer.
not used a lot.
I'm a necromancer
fun,
and I've
but-
got a army. I'm a necromancer. I got an army of 12 skeletons, and now I pull out my mount. So now are the
Undead mount.
so now does the skeletons just disappear, and then when I get off, they reappear? Like those are the
Right.
like, stupid things.
Do they get skeleton mounts to go with you?
Now, if they had baby
Those
horse
mounts aren't-
skeleton mounts to ride with me,
I
Okay,
want to see that.
now
Your game will suck unless it happens.
You have now sold me. you have now sold me
Oh.
on mounts, and I will pay for the
Whoever's coming
$1,000.
by,
I'll pay the $1,000 hoser bundle. If
The
all
Ghost
of my
Riders in Disguise scenes playing.
Yep,
if
coming
all
in
my
hot from the
skeletons
side, just-
get little horses,
that would be crazy sick.
or if
That
all
would
of
be
my
cool, but-
skeletons turned in to horses, and like
Oh, that'd be cool. Skeleton horses.
and rode with me, and then changed back into skeletons for combat.
Ghost Rider.
Kind of like a Voltron kind of vibe. They all into your thing and then and come back out.
Or like the golem breaks down into little things. Yeah, anyways, yeah. Those are
I
good
mean,
that'd be
ideas.
cool.
That's pretty cool.
Blizzard.
They
The only
didn't
way I'm
ask
buying
us
that
to be at
game now is if
meeting,
that
though,
happens.
for designing.
Or, okay, I'm sorry. Now my brain's really firing. Or what if when you go to make your horse, your skeletons turned into the horse, and then you got
Oh,
on
the
it and rode?
Voltron horse.
Yeah, all the different skeletons are like the rib cage or
Yeah.
something. Yeah.
See what I'm saying?
I mean, it could be crazy cool.
I
It's
mean,
probably not the focus, though. They just probably want to sell skins and
yeah. Well,
you
the
know.
focus is to make money. Unlike in the past when they made Diablo 2, it was making something genre defining.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now, there's a couple things that I do want to explore in D4 more, and that is the PvP aspect of the game. It's not going to be like you go hostile. It's not going to be like you find a group. It's not going to be like you queue up this everyone's the same level dungeon and you fight each other. It's just going to be you go to this area and you can kill anyone you see. That's what I plan on doing, and I'll probably die most of the time. If I ever see Guilty there, I'm going to kill him too. So that's
Damn.
my
That's
plan.
fired.
I will absolutely be taking screenshots and or videos of you guys fighting. I'll stay there.
Where are we fighting at?
We're fighting at the PvP plains in D4.
Yes. Oh, but what if it's open PvP?
The
a
only
zone?
way I'm buying that game is if you get your Voltron skeleton horse. We've made it. That's
It's a thing.
the only way.
Listen, I'm just gonna I know the future.
We get a Voltron skeleton horse.
I know the future.
Rubbing.
And Guilty's gonna buy this game.
I probably won't.
He's gonna buy
Just
it.
gonna throw it out there like that.
He's gonna buy it.
He probably won't.
He's gonna buy it.
No, like you.
We're gonna be
know
planning the guild.
I'm way too
Angwar's
scared.
Angwar's gonna run the
There's a guild
guild.
going on right now that I'm not part of by choice.
That's different.
Is it though?
It is. Oh, come on.
It's
You're
a-
going to compare Undecember to D4. Come on. Be real. You're going to
Well, I
buy
mean-
it.
I think Undecember is more appealing than D4, and I'm not playing it right now.
I did. I've pushed along in my character.
I'm like, I
Chapter
do
4.
like it. I just have to step away from my PC and not get burnt
Right.
out on things. That's why I've been playing like mindless shooter. Like I'll play a mindless shooter for an
Battlefield, yeah.
hour, and then I'll go away from my computer. And the only time because when I'm developing or anything, I don't want to be in front of my computer because it's just a headache. And it's
Makes
a lot
sense.
of pulling out my hair and going back and forth. And now we're dealing with plastic again because plastic sucks. So yeah, I've been spending a lot more time away from my PC than I normally would. But I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm gonna. I want to play World of Warcraft too, but I don't know if I will.
Okay. Rephrase. What if the game's just actually good? Let's just say D4 ends up being
It could
a
be the
good game.
best.
You just don't want to
Like, they could be-
support the bad guy, which is very understandable and
Right,
commendable.
Like I don't want to give money to the villain. That's what it is, and they are, and they haven't proven anything that they've changed. They haven't proven.
Maybe
As a matter
they're
of fact, attacking
maybe
our
they're a
employees still.
good villain like Thanos, you know? No. He was right.
Well,
You know.
you gotta
Yeah,
have
but
good
if they
and
had
evil.
to snap, half the people wouldn't disappear. Half the people would buy their game.
They would snap and you'd be forced to like buy MTX or
Yeah,
pay to
like,
win.
yeah, you will buy all the MGX. It's they still. Was it Vicarious Visions got kind of messed over with them?
They
the
own
other
Vicarious Vision. They own VV. They
Yeah.
bought
Q&A
them.
well, right, but there's the other one too that its name got changed too, and they were screwing around with them too. The Q&A department or QA department rather. Like that's 2 times now, 2 separate QA departments that they've gone toe to toe with, and even hired a company that came in that was anti-union to do all kinds of stuff. Now, like I'm not saying here, like when you spend money to go after the lowest paid part of your company, there's an issue there.
I made a video during the Immortal days, and it was Blizzard's investigating Blizzard. They said, "Hey, everybody, don't worry. We have launched an investigation into we.
Nothing wrong
So
with
you
that.
have nothing to
Yeah.
worry about. We are going to figure it out. Trust us. We take this seriously."
Doesn't that sound like
Shenanigans.
they're wearing jet black uniforms, that meme, and they're like, "Do you think we're the baddies?"
Right.
Are we
Yeah.
the baddies?
Yeah. It's like I typically would be like pro do what you want, but they seem to be exceptionally bad.
Okay. Right now, it is November 9th. Okay. The 9th of November. Do we get... I was having a conversation with a couple people that I trust and know the
Not
game
me.
better than me. Do we get Last Epoch multiplayer this year? Daft. And
I
now,
wanna
wait,
say
before
ye-
you answer, know that LE is some of the best communicators there is.
Right.
For an indie studio, their stream, their forum,
Pretty
their
straightforward.
Reddit, their Discord, they are good communicators, which means we normally get the communication for when something is dropping anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks before it happens. It is November 9th. We have heard nothing. We have not gotten multiplayer communication written on their website for now 2 months. Does
Yeah.
it come this year? Okay, now you can answer.
All right. I will say we did bring this question up, and I think we said by this week we should have heard something. That was, if I remember correctly, when we talked about it was week, and it was like, yeah, next week, because they need, there's a month and a half left, a little bit over that, 2 months basically until it's all said and done. So I want to say yes, And for me personally, if I don't hear anything by Tuesday this next week, I think we're in trouble.
So you're saying one more week, if it's still radio silence, we're in trouble.
Yeah, that's just me saying it's not like them to be this quiet and going Wilson on us. So it hasn't reached that, but it's that critical time. And now with this prospective release of D4, that's probably put some embers in their fires.
You know, the difference between, before I go to guilty, the difference between a radio silence in Last Epoch and a radio silence in Wolcen is they're not responding on Discord forums. And it's literally like not a word from a single person that works there. Last Epoch is still doing their Friday streams. They're still active on their Discord. They're still active in the forums and Reddit. It's just more about they haven't had a community like official news post. So that's really what it is. Guilty, do we get it this year?
I hope so. It's 100%. It seems like it's 100% up to Judd at this point. I'm pretty sure the buck stops with him. He's in charge. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's not going to be perfect.
No. They just got to get it out there so that the people start playing it and getting into it. Because right now, for me, I'm playing it, then I'm just not really investing too much time because I know ultimately I'm going to start over again. And if it's December or January, then that's not that far away. So I'll enjoy other games, play it a little bit when they do an update or do something like that. But I can't invest. I'm investing in December right now just because it's going to be there for millennia.
And that's how I am. I put out 18 build guides for 085F.
Right.
And I've had 1,600 hours in the game, and 085 wasn't a big update. And it's like, I feel like, I mean, obviously I could just work on another build, but I am ready for the next phase. And that's why I've been playing so much Torchlight, because it's keeping my attention and it's new and something fun to play. Yeah, but I'm pretty concerned. And I'm as big of I don't know if there's a bigger LE fanboy than me on the planet. So I don't know. I'm worried.
Rich might be.
Yeah, Rich really likes it too.
He has more hours than like anyone I've ever heard of having hours in that game.
I don't know if I'm a fanboy as much, but I've played the game for years and years. So, I want to do well.
Oh, so what's been going on in chat is we've been talking about like, people are like, I'm going to buy it, and you go buy it. So it goes back to like, there's not many developers worth trusting. Rich is like, and I was like, yeah, that's AAA typically, and he's right. There are some real shady, indie devs out there.
Sure.
Especially those that have been making a game for 10 years and have taken in like $400 million and still haven't released a product yet.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's my fear is that this becomes like the norm for indie, and it can't be, because if it's the norm for indie, AAA will just make it so indie's not even looked at anymore. We have to have our indie developers release in a timely fashion, not rip their community off with crowdfunding exercises, and that's happened. Like the guy from Fez, he's right. The guy from Fez, he literally tweeted, "I take the money and walk," for Fez 2, and he literally took the money and walked.
I just looked up, and I'm not saying I'm a bigger fanboy than Rich. I just looked up how many videos I've made on Last Epoch on YouTube.
Oh,
I'm actually shocked. I'm shocked what number it is. And I just search anything that has Last Epoch written out in the title of the video. 327.
I was going to say 300 because I started at 2.
327 YouTube videos I've made for Last Epoch.
That's a lot of 20 minutes.
Some of them longer.
And we just passed 3 years. That's,
I guess, if you count it,
almost one every 3 days for 3 years.
Yeah.
That's pretty.
It's a lot of time, Aaron.
I know.
And now you have an item in the game, and we're all looking to use that item and see who of the group gets it first, and that's kind of a fun.
That's going to be fun.
Me. It's probably going to be Aaron because he lives in Endgame. I visit.
I go there on vacation.
I visit.
I also do pretty well with like determination, so normally it's like when I have a goal, it's like, get it. My wife will,
yeah.
my wife will fall
can see,
asleep.
but-
My wife will fall asleep, and I'll pull out the gaming laptop. I'll be like, oh, I gotta use the touchpad because she'll hear the clicking. Use the touch-
Oh, so speaking of that, my wife, she never uses my keyboard. And the other day, she was sitting at my keyboard. And she doesn't have I have a mechanical thing. Type, it's a click, click, right? And she had never used one of those. So I'm sitting behind her right here to the side. And she's up here. And she starts typing and then starts giggling, right? Because she's not used to the...
Yeah.
Never used one. And I'm looking at her like, what's wrong with you? You okay? She's like, this is funny. I was like, what? And when she explained to me, I was like, oh, yeah, they bounce. And, this, that, and other. It's just funny when you brought up the whole, like, silently in bed using the silent, It brought that. I was like, oh, yeah, that was the other day. That was super funny. I never could imagine having that feeling. But anyways, I don't know. Little scared, but not super scared.
I'm going to trust Judd. He said they're shooting for the end of the year. He would not have said that if he didn't think he could hit it. And I think he hits it, even if it's like...
We're at the end of the year.
It's a
Like,
new
yeah,
year. It's but he said the end of the year as in the calendar year of 2022. So
we're talking the end of December.
he's
Like
still got 50 days.
11:59 to 31st of December.
50 days.
Okay, that's fair enough. And if
A little while.
it would be good to launch before Christmas.
But I was just about to say, the fact that now we're in Christmas time, or holidays, if you will, for the company, they're going to have a week off, well, supposedly some time off, right,
Yeah.
to do festivities. So you have to consider that into this whole crunch at the end of the year.
So
They're
they
going
all
to be
work
pushing their
remotely.
employees,
Yeah, they're 100% remote.
They can work on their own schedule because they're agile, and
Yeah.
pretty much whatever they do can be done anytime. So it's not like they have to be given time off because they can choose their own work
Yeah,
schedule.
wake up at 3 a.m. and do some programming. Well,
And that's probably what works best for some of them. That's probably why these agile groups are. That's really how it's done now.
Well, they
That's how
didn't.
Lockheed does it.
Well, 11th Hour Games never took a hit for COVID because they were already
Right.
100% at home
Right.
remote. They built the model that way. There's never been an office. So they nothing changed as far as their progression other than obviously
Fair.
people that got sick. So it is
I mean,
interesting.
The argument
Right.
against that type of agile work environment is that people won't, work as fast or whatever. But you can typically weed those out. You can take the speed that everyone's working and have an average. And hey, guys, meet this average.
You
Or
find
at least
those,
counsel the ones who don't.
yeah, you find those that adapt to that. They have the perseverance and the wisdom to understand, okay, I pretty much have a free schedule, but I got to produce and I got to do it.
Oh.
And whatever I got to do it,
ClickUp. There's the ClickUp app is
Right.
a great way to keep teams working in an agile environment. You can see what people are doing because you force them to turn things in. You can say
Lockheed,
this is done. This you can put notes on it. It's
Yep.
probably there's other things too. Like Lockheed uses a different one. It's not ClickUp. I forget. It's like something with an L. It's like Linda or something like that. There's a bunch of them out now. It's a popular way to do things.
You got to think logically for a second. And I said this last week. It's been 4 years of waiting for multiplayer. And they have said, I don't know, without exaggeration, 200 times on stream, through communication, you only get one chance at a first impression. And people have been asking for multiplayer for 4 years, and we're not going to release it until it's going to be a great first impression.
It's
And if-
already
and-
great, guys.
And if that means it's delayed, then it's delayed because we're not going to release something not finished. And that's what they're going to stand by. So that means if we get multiplayer 2025, then that's, when we get it. That doesn't mean it's going to be a great business decision,
Right, yeah.
but that's what they're sticking with. And I commend them for at least sticking to their word and, wanting to give a good quality product. I want them to succeed so badly. And I'm just so scared that, imagine, and this is considered a smaller game. Even Shammy in
is.
chat right now, who's a Torchlight moderator, says season 2 for Torchlight's coming in December, which may include co-op to that game. That is going to be
Mooncake Festival. That sounds fun.
like, imagine we're going to get Torchlight Infinite with co-op where we could play multiplayer and they fix a lot of the PC port issues. This is going to be a really fun, that's going to be a fun gaming experience. We're going to get a new PoE league, right? I mean, there's just so much stuff coming out.
Here's a thought though. We're into this thing, and maybe now that the modern ARPG gamers are becoming more multi-gamers. Like they're going to be playing 2 or 3 games at a time and rotating between the seasons of said games. Or if you're out of season, you're playing like in December because they don't have they have like season stuff that you can get, but not seasons that start you over and stuff. I don't know. Personally, I feel like I don't stick to one game anymore. I'll be playing usually my main game, which typically is an ARPG, sometimes other games, and then just other games. And that's for some could just be all different ARPGs. You know, they play in a month 3 or 4 different games, one every week, and they just kind of rotate through them. I think that's more common now. So possibly this whole who's the best game is more relevant to how much you can get within that pie of all the games. If you can get a piece of that and that sustains your development as a team, that's probably all you need. So LE probably just needs to get in the pie, get a piece. I don't know what percentage they need, but after that, they have 10 cents. And then, you know, you can rely on your backing. But at the same time, you know, you just want to get in there. We love you.
Just they did some cuts, and they're not probably gonna. They're not in the position right now to put any more money out.
Maybe 11th Hour Games could pick up some people that Meta just fired. There you go.
I mean,
what?
I don't know what
so
you guys
they
think
can
about
make
that whole
product that no one uses.
thing.
Raven Crow put in chat, at this point, if they don't release this year, they already delayed 2 non-multiplayer updates. It's already on a no update state for nearly a whole year. Because again, last week we looked up 084 launched in December 2021. And then we got 085, which was a much smaller update. That's where, like, remember, even Boardman was like, hey, I'm going to take a break. There's nothing really to cover, and I've already done everything. And now you're fast forwarding, what, 7 months since then? A long time.
It's been a long time, and they've got the CT going. It's got the attention of some of us. It's, you know...
They have multiplayer now.
It should be... I think, personally, they could release it, and it would be... People would just be happy.
But there's so...
Yes.
But I mean, I can't say what's not in the game. But in multiplayer, there's stuff not in there. Like, it's not... You know what I mean?
And I'm in the same thing with you. I get what you're saying, but some of that might be fixed, and they're just waiting.
Well, no, like, they just keep on releasing. It's called updating a game.
Yeah. You get it stable.
Just get it out.
Release it.
Yeah, it's not going to be perfect.
But they're not... 11th Hour Games is not Wolcen. So even if they were like, okay, push the button, we're releasing it, it would still be a... Let's contact the content creators. Let's release the very nice fancy post showing off the new fonts and the new NPCs and the new skills and the new uniques. And they normally actually set up a campaign week where it's like every day they're going to drop something new, you know, to build buzz. So,
right.
Like we need that.
I mean, they have their weekly video right now that they're doing, or with Mike. They're doing. I just think they need to take the risk. Personally, I think that the players who are at least paying attention right now will be fine with anything that needs picked. What's in the game now for me personally, that there's nothing really game breaking in CT right now that's like making me not play it. It's literally the fact that I don't want to invest time. I think they could fully pull it off, and it would be fine. The community would appreciate the NDA lifted. They would appreciate being able to talk about it and doing footage about it. And just...
Ravens had a build planned for the community unique for 7 months now, just waiting. That is the Void Javelin? Javelin?
Oh God, it's been so long since I...
And it makes the fireball thing void. I can't believe I remember that.
It might.
What would be the best thing
for a mage
tonight to happen for LE?
They do a post in the morning. It says
it would be a post breaking down the update with the date that it's coming. Then the date would have to say 2022.
I would say them lifting the NDA and letting people like Aaron stream builds guides with the new stuff.
Yeah.
And in multiplayer. That alone.
As much
your
as I,
item.
as much
Here's
as
your
I would,
item, by the way.
where?
Yeah, that's the other part. They give you your item just so you could
Oh yeah,
make a
yeah.
build guide,
You know,
just to get hype in the game. That helps. Just
Yeah,
people-
impregnate his
people
account
involved.
with the item.
the more I've been thinking about this, the more I don't know if I want them to lift the NDA, because now it's no longer the new shiny thing. It's like, oh, we've already seen multiplayer.
But it
Like-
doesn't matter, Aaron. They gotta go
Multiplayer's
on
not
their
the
own
only
schedule.
thing in this game.
A post with a date is what I want. That
Yeah.
says
I
2022.
mean, they should do both.
Like literally, like a release on Christmas Day or something.
Ideally, they would want to use you to
25th.
hype it up for the December 1st. Judd, December 1st.
Give first is good, but if you give it something, Christmas gives it a boost. But it does need it. We're almost halfway through November now. We're not quite there, but getting there. So time's coming.
I mean, it's got to be soon.
Hey, by
It's
the
gotta
way,
be sick.
I got officially shut down that Warlock will not be void focused. So just so everybody's aware.
What?
Yeah.
Oh no!
I have been
Wonder what it's
pushing
gonna
that.
be.
I've been pushing that for a year. Hey,
You have.
you have Void Knight. There is no other class that focuses on Void whatsoever. Warlock will be a perfect opportunity. You've got a transform, you've got a minion class, and then you've got a Void class. And they said, Warlock, sorry, Aaron, we're officially telling you,
What does that leave for Warlock?
will not
to focus on?
be
I really want to
Void
Dark Monk.
focused.
Could be
Dark
poison.
Monk would be great.
I would guess poison. I would guess
I'm gonna
poison.
guess poison or maybe
New thing.
It'll be a dot. It'll be
No.
some kind of curse dot.
bleed. Maybe
Exactly.
What's the
Some kind of
bleed?
ailment. It'll be an
Yeah,
ailment build.
Ailments. It'll be ailments. Maybe.
It'd be like chaos damage in Grim Dawn.
yeah.
like-
It's just
Yeah.
the less used one.
Mm-hmm. The Chthonian stuff.
Well, that's a bummer. I mean,
Think about this. Christmas morning would be ruined at Aaron's house when he's smashing out monoliths for the golem armor. That's exactly what would happen. Oh,
Not right
man.
now, Daddy's playing
letters
his
from
video game.
letters from the wife.
I would get it on
Christmas
Christmas.
melancholy.
If that happened, I'd get it. Like, I would get
no,
close.
See, Nina would murder him, and it would make global news because it would be so bad.
I'd be like, where's all the kids? Oh, they're playing with their new toys. I'm like, okay, I gotta go to the bathroom. How many
Yeah.
can I get through?
Brings laptop into the
mean-
bathroom.
I don't know. The whole Christmas idea was just based off. I mean, do a Turkey Day release. I mean, do November 1st.
The idea is it's marketing, right? It's like our
Right.
plan all along was to give everyone a Christmas gift, right? Like try and like
Exactly.
spin it into a positive, like this is what we wanted to do all along. I don't know.
Man, so
But
We
we're
clearly all
talking
want
about
them
it,
to
so this is
succeed.
good.
well, we're talking about it, and I hope they listen.
If
Yeah,
D4 and LE 1.0 dropped on the same day, I would play both. That's the honest truth. Like,
I would play one.
I mean, I would play Last Epoch more.
I would load both and start whichever one loaded first.
There you go.
Oh well, we
I
know
mean-
which one that'd be. Just the special shiny effects, the particle effects, all that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be 105 gigabyte game or something like that.
Well, I'll
That
tell you,
horse is gonna be-
one of them's gonna have a horse you could get. You know. So
Ride your shiny horse into the game. Still
And it's
kind of
gonna have
trying to wrap my head around practically using this in game. If we're not going to have a teleport system, if that's literally what it is, and we just have to.
it will be just like however
Maybe
many times
towns.
you used your horse in Lost Ark.
I never did.
Then you'll never use it in this.
Yeah, but you went and picked all of the Makoko seeds.
Yeah,
and this you're
I
gonna
had
pick
other
up all of the
I
pentagram
had better
coins.
things to do than ride a pony around. I had,
They're going to be pentagram coins, and when
Makokos
you
to
collect
pick up.
all 666 of them or whatever it is,
right.
you get to put on an outfit that makes you look like a xenomorph. I mean, Diablo.
I will say though,
Super creative, guys.
since probably World of Warcraft, a long time ago, I haven't really been a mount user in any MMO I've played. I just typically end up gathering and fighting everything because it has to get killed. So I generally don't even ride mounts. Only when I do multiplayer because I got to keep up with everybody else.
You do in Gedonia?
No, I haven't used it.
What? Are you serious?
I fly.
So-
I made the mage class, so I fly everywhere.
Oh,
Aaron,
got it. Okay.
Aaron, in Undecember, we all
Why?
have the same pet, right? We have the little thing that looks like the tan ghoulie.
Don't use the pet.
Oh
He-
yeah.
He has pet time. He has the
Yeah.
pet. He's like, I'm not even going to use it.
I don't
We
even
were
use
like-
it. I'm not.
I don't use mine anymore because I don't have auto pickup, so it doesn't do anything.
No, but he had that.
Oh,
He had
I
the time,
chose
and he
not
still
to.
was. He chose not to.
Because in the game they give it to you in basically tutorial stage to kind of get you used
Right.
to
Like 3 days of it or something.
yeah, they get you used to wanting to have it. I'm old school enough with these ARPGs. I don't mind running around the basic area and picking up the items. It doesn't phase me. So I just didn't pick it up, and I have 5 coins of 1 day, 3 days, each one some variant that are just in
Hasn't
my
used
bag
them.
right now. Yeah.
Yeah.
I just chose not to. So that was the
well,
choice, and
I
it
used
doesn't
all
affect
my
day.
coins when I loaded the game, and then I didn't play it for 8 days. So I don't have it either. So might
I
as well
mean-
be the same difference.
Just walk over him. It's not exactly not auto pickup, but auto pickup should be just come with it.
I should know this. Maybe
Push.
I'm having a brain fart. Diablo 4 is gonna do the seasons and resets, right? Just like any other one,
I think so.
right?
I honestly
makes
haven't
them
paid
money,
much attention to D4 personally.
If they can sell you a season pass, yes.
There's gonna be a battle pass, so I would think they have to do seasons, right?
Yeah. Or I'm gonna say, yeah, if they can sell you a battle pass, there's probably going to be a season for which the battle pass to reset on, and there's probably going to be a regular battle pass and a premium battle pass, just like TLI or not TLI, DI.
Shin,
Remember, there's multiple.
Shin, will it be a season that resets your character? Basically like a PoE league where you have to redo everything?
Yep.
And resets.
Seasons and resets. So, but they're probably going to have 2 or 3.
Oh
passes.
yeah. I literally just remember watching that. Yeah. And your character will move to the Nether Realm or whatever, basically the standard league, and then you'll have to start all over on the new season. No, I did just read that. That's 100% correct. So imagine a world. Okay, imagine this magical world where the core main ARPG fans, the purists, are playing Last Epoch. And then, okay, the season's over. There's nothing to do. So I'm going to go mess around in this MMO playing D4 with my guild. We can do some PvP. We can have fun. We can min-max. And then I got to go to work. You pick up your phone and you're playing the Torchlight Season 2. Is that a world
That's
we
an
can
okay
all
world.
live in?
Yes. Personally, that's what I was talking about earlier.
If you're going, yeah.
Multiple games and you just kind
I
of float
can
around.
live without Blizzard.
Sure. I have
Currently
D2R
living
I
without
played.
Blizzard.
So what? I played Diablo 1 way back in the waybacks. I played Diablo 2. I played Diablo 3 for like 30 minutes. And then I have little interest in 4. Just there's so many games out there. And I play D2R now. If I play Diablo-esque games. I haven't literally played D3 since I think 2013, maybe 2014. Gave my
Raven
son
Crow.
my copy.
Have you guys seen what he's saying? The leaks show a pay more to play 3 days earlier on
Yes.
an ARPG. It's an MMO, Raven. That's the dead giveaway.
Yeah.
It is so stupid to do. You can spend money to start early if the game has a ladder as well. That really is like a, if you're a competitive player, ridiculous. Or if it has like a trade house, you get 3 days earlier, which means you get to end game quicker, which means you get end game's items quicker, which means you could sell them for more. You know, there's like,
Well,
Right.
so
Frodo Fraggins is saying that early access won't impact the first season. So
we don't know that, but like
yeah.
it could, it couldn't.
Yeah.
Does it matter? It's only 3 days. Like people catch up. Just
But
know
some
like
people in 3 days get to level 70 or something like that.
Yeah.
I understand it as a handful of people that are in my decision. If I don't get the early access and I'm playing on day one, I am now behind 99.9999% of all content creators.
Right.
There's
you're
not
correct. Yep.
a single person that wants to post YouTube content on Twitch or YouTube is going to pay whatever the price is to get it early. Period. Like, because timing is the story happened 2 days ago. That means the story doesn't exist. It's like,
no, Frodo's right, because the first season release is a few months later, so you don't have to worry about that, Aaron.
Yeah.
You can
could be
wait
a
and buy
thing.
it until then.
You might have a title or an outfit or something cool that no one else has access to, maybe for 3 months before they can buy it.
Yeah, I
on
didn't
the
think
shop.
about it's so you're not going to have seasonal content on release. You're going to have essentially the campaign to run through and get used to stuff, and then once you get comfortable with the different mechanics, they're going to give you the season. That seems fair enough.
I mean, that does seem fair. Last Epoch has said that season 1 or cycle 1 likely will not come on 1.0. It'll be a massive patch with the last 3 masteries and give everyone a chance to learn all the new stuff. And then maybe weeks, maybe a month later, they will actually drop season 1. So I could see that. The only thing that sucks about that is that means you have to start over again. So it's literally multiplayer drops, you start over. 1.0 drops, you start over. Cycle 1 drops, you start over. And again,
Well,
I can get to endgame in a day, so it's not terrible. It's still just like,
Well, no, Aaron, because you won't have all your goodies.
I'll
You
still
won't have
get.
your
I'll
fancy gear. You won't have all your affixes because you never replay. You just always never soul of self found.
It won't matter.
It will. Well, it will a little bit. First day.
Oh, day 1
So-
it'll matter. You matter. Yeah,
It
yeah.
matter, like, you know,
Okay, so
how much will it matter? How many times
it
can you
won't
die?
matter at all because, like they said, you're not gonna get the season, and that's gonna be where the competitive aspect is from the season.
Right.
And Frodo's absolutely correct with that. I was assuming that it comes, when they say it will. And then there's the other, the Ravens, like they're advertising as an ARPG, and to that I answer, Blizzard lies. I'm gonna go back over some of their well-known lies. There won't be a gold coin in
Blizzard
WoW
can't say.
Classic.
Blizzard can't
There's
say
a gold
that.
coin in WoW Classic.
Blizzard can't say that the game that started the hack and slash ARPG genre is not an ARPG. Of course, they have to say it's an ARPG. And
Right, but it
and
is
people
an MMO ARPG.
people get very confused about this. They say, since it's an isometric view and you're slaying monsters for loot, it's an ARPG. Is not. I mean, this is my opinion. I'm sorry. This is just my opinion. Everyone has different opinions.
It's not.
This is not
ARPG.
This is not an ARPG, in my opinion.
It's an MMO action RPG. So technically, like ARPG covers like third-person hack and slash, like Dark Souls. When we say ARPG, we are specifically referring to things like LE, Diablo 2, Grim Dawn,
Over the shoulder.
Torchlight Infinite,
Martyr,
the isometric
PoE,
view.
yes.
Yeah, PoE, yes, definitely. We're not referring to
Well, not
like,
over the shoulder.
the
Isometric.
Souls
and then,
games.
you're
The Legend of Zelda, which is still technically an ARPG.
right.
Even
it's
The
a
Witcher.
very, very
Technically, The
broad term.
Witcher is considered an ARPG.
It is an ARPG.
It is.
I know.
It's an action role-playing game.
Yeah.
We should probably come up with go back to what we used to say and say a Diablo clone. Will Diablo 4 be a Diablo clone? No, I don't think it will.
Diablo-like.
Raven,
It'll be-
Raven said if you enter the official D4 page, the first thing that is written on the screen is D4 Action RPG. They do that
Right.
because they're trying to give my YouTube channel free marketing. We have a little agreement, okay, and that's
Yeah, that's
why.
that, or they know that
That's
the
why.
market is not MMO.
Well, how much truth have they been telling us? Like, oh, there will not be a boost for World of Warcraft Classic. Oh, there's a boost for World of Warcraft. Like, literally everything they say has been a lie.
Dude,
Not
Assa-
everything.
Not
That's
God
hyperbolic.
after it.
I'm big
The
hyper-
last Assassin's Creed game, we're not going to put XP boosts in. We're not going to do that. 3 weeks after release, the shop updated without any communication. Hey, XP boosts are in there.
like,
You
but
didn't see it
my
before.
point is, not everything, but many of the things they said they weren't going to do, they ended up doing. Things that they said they wouldn't add in got added in. It's because it's not It's up to the board. It's not up to the developer.
I think what it is, guys, is Blizzard's catching up to the world of everything's recorded somewhere. This is the current world where back in the early days of Blizzard, you could say things at little conferences and it would just kind of disappear into the world. Now it's a little difficult. So now you have such a big company, so many people talking about it, so many people talking about release things or the different levels and all the things about a game. It's just a little harder for a game or a company like Blizzard. They're just learning to adjust to the modern era of
they're grandpa company.
Yeah,
grandpa company.
Brevix.
They still put Brevik's not with them anymore. They still put
your old Brevix coming from that era.
Yeah.
Before.
Well, yeah, but Gandalf the Grey, that's Brevik. That's what I call him now. So when they put developers on the stage and the guy's like, "What? Don't you have phones?" It's because they still think it's a good idea to put their developer in front of a camera.
I don't want to
being completely scripted.
I don't want to talk about BlizzCon 2018 or Diablo Immortal, because then I'm going to get on
want to talk about facts and feelings.
Because we're already 9 minutes over. This is good. We're going to continue this conversation on our Patreon only bonus hour. Oh, the one chip challenge.
This is getting recorded for Patreon only. If you guys want to see me do something stupid.
Are you going to do that today?
Yes.
That's the thing. All right.
I was going to do it earlier, but I was told to wait
about
till
this
today.
one, guys. I didn't see this coming.
They're going to get to see it live on our feed.
One person do this.
Really? I
mouth
haven't seen
turned
anyone
blue.
in person do it.
It's
the new one. This is not
blue.
Their mouth turned blue?
Blue.
The new one has like ink.
You know how when you eat
like
nerds or anything in your mouth just gets saturated with that. Like basically everything in your mouth is going to turn blue.
Yeah.
It's just going to be you're like, ah.
I don't want to see that. You're going to look all jacked up. Just kidding. I want to see it.
Blue. That's the new one. That
all right. Okay. Let's just say you fall out of your chair and black out. Do we just
just let me die? It's fine.
All right.
Do DNR.
We'll send help. We'll send help.
Don't.
We have to.
No, you don't.
I do.
Rich says he cannot wait to see Guilty cry. Rich is one of our new Patreons. And he made it on the scrolls. See, I added you to the Patreon scrolls. Okay, everybody.
Look at you.
There it is.
All the likes, all the shares, all the comments, all the views, all the interactions truly helps me, helps us, helps the channel, and I really am appreciative. If you ever want to take it one step further, check out the chat. There's the link for our Patreons. We have a special VIP chat in the Discord. You can chit chat with us all the time, and we answer questions during the bonus hour. You get access to the bonus hour. You get access to the blog post. You get extra wheel entries for custom action RPG merch. And depending on where you sign up at, there are other little goodies. Okay, so check that out. Patreon is awesome.
Doing the Patreon.
Yeah,
there's going to be different. The tiers are changing a little bit. Yes. There's going to be some slightly different content and less tiers, so that more people can get more of the stuff the other people were.
Perfect.
We're trying to even it out, get rid of some of the chaos.
I linked the Discord. If anything, come hang out with us in Discord. I linked it in there, so you can come out. And a lot of the people, several of the people here are there, but come hang out. We chat all the time about the games. We play together. We chat in Discord.
And you guys can come and tell Guilty that he should join the D4 Guild. It's going to be called Guilty's Guilty. I don't know. I can't think of anything off the top.
Well,
Guilty's Ghosts.
Ooh, that's a good one.
GG.
Yeah.
That's always good. Okay, so we're switching over to Patreon right now. Thank you all for coming out. Let's go find somebody to raid. And since you're sick and in the dark, Guilty, I'm going to give the final word to Mr. Daffley. And I got my finger on the button. So when you're done talking, give me the thumbs up and I'll hit it.
All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for participating. See you next week, hopefully.